Dear students, this is Afsana Awal. Today I will take you work and life class, and our today's topic is chapter 1 lesson 2 to 5. So let's start the class, students. Just look here, this is chapter 1 and our first lesson is from 2 to 4, and lesson name Self-Respect and Story of Self-Respect at Work. So let's start. Dignity is gained only through work. Our self-dignity is also expressed through work. Do following activities indicate the identity of self-respect or not? Write yes or no for your answer. Okay, there are some words named here and we have to write it. If this word indicate self-respect, then we have to write here yes, and if this incident actually don't show self-respect, then we have to write here no. So let's start this one. Just a minute, students. At first, just look here. Sohail likes to do his own work. Okay, actually this activity indicates the identity of self-respect, because Sohail likes to do his own work. So we have to write here yes. Number 2. When Fatima's parents scold her, she tries to find out the cause of scolding and correct herself. This activity also indicates self-respect. So we have to also write here yes. Now the next one. When Millie goes to school, their maid servant carries her school bag. Okay, that means this is actually Millie's duty to carry her own school bag. But here we see that when Millie goes to school, her maid servant carries her school bag. So this incident actually does not indicate self-respect. So we have to write here no. Then the next one, just look here. Ruma doesn't speak in a very loud voice. She thinks it may disturb others. Okay, that means here we see that Ruma actually thinks of the other things of others, things for others. So here this also indicates self-respect. Shirin brings her homework every day because as a student she thinks it is her duty. Okay, so Shirin brings her homework every day because as a student she thinks this is a duty. So this actually indicates self-respect, because here we see that Shirin is aware of her duty. In the evening, when Mahmoud's father comes home back pulling the rickshaw, all day long he passes food and water to him and cleans his rickshaw. So it also indicates self-respect. Now the last one. Mother washes Shubha's dirty clothes. Okay, this is Shubha's duty to wash his own clothes. But here we see that mother washes Shubha's dirty clothes. So here this incident doesn't show self-respect. Okay, so now go to the next one. Now let us evaluate our thoughts. Sohail likes to do his own works. He shows as a reason that the wise always depend on own self and the foolish always depend on others. So doing our work on our own is an identity of self-respect. From now on, like Sohail, all of us will try to do our own work. As a human being, we should have feeling of shame. We feel shame for unfair deeds. So if Fatima is scolded by her parents for her misconduct, she feels guilty. She respects the parents' desires and obey their opinions. Such behaviors of Fatima are identity of self-respect. Okay, that means the second incident actually indicates self-respect. Okay, the first one also. If we talk in a high-pitched voice, that means if we talk loudly, then people around us may feel disturbed. A self-respected person never conducts any work that is troublesome to others. So Ruma's speaking in a low voice indicates her consciousness about self-respect. Shirin is very much careful about self-respect. Besides this, she is respectful to do her duty and obey the rules of school. To her, if others can do, then I can do too. Keeping yourself clean and tidy all the time, doing own work by oneself, well, and helping others bear the identity of self-respect. If we do not keep ourselves clean, we will find ourselves untidy. Bad odor comes out from our body through sweat and dirt. Do we feel good if we smell bad odor from others' body? People surrounding us also feel unhappy about this. We should respect those who do physical labor. Rickshaw pulling, rowing boats, working in the fields, etc. are hard works. Our life has become easy as they do all these hard works. We should respect them and serve them after they come back to the house and make suitable arrangement for taking rest. So, we will do our own work by ourselves, but without learning, we will not do any risky job. That means before doing any risky job, we have to know about that job. We will show respect to others and if possible help them as much as we can. We will always keep tidy. If we make any mistake while doing any work, we will not feel inferior to learn it from others. There is nothing to be shameful at this. Every man may not do all works properly. To do work properly, he should learn the work and try to do it again and again. So we will never lose our self-respect and confidence. Okay, that means these lines actually shows that if anybody cannot do any work, okay, he must not be shameful for that. He can learn that work from others who can know that, who can that, and who has ideas about that work. Okay, so this is not shameful. So, story of self-respect. After completing the BSc degree from the University of London, Jagadish Chandra Basu came back to India and was appointed professor on temporary basis. During that time, English people used to think that Indians were not suitable for teaching science. So Jagadish Chandra Basu was paid 2/3 of the salary got by the Englishman for the same designation. Moreover, as Jagadish Chandra was in temporary position, he only got half of the 2/3. A disparity between the English and the Indians hurt the self-respect of Jagadish Chandra. He raised protest. Nobody paid attention to this young professor. At last he decided not to take salary at all and he continued his service as professor for 3 consecutive years. At last the authorities surrendered to his logical right. All dues were paid to him after fixing the salary as equal as an English professor. Okay, that means Sir Jagadish Chandra Basu, he had too much self-respect. Okay, so here we have learned about the self-respect of Jagadish Chandra Basu. Now go to lesson 5. This is about self-confidence. Let us see the pictures below and think. Okay, just look here. This is the picture. A boy is giving speech, prize giving ceremony. Rakib is making a speech at the annual prize giving ceremony of the school. His gestures indicate that he is not scared while making the speech. Okay, that means the boy confidently is making the speech, giving the speech confidently. In the second picture, just look here. This is the girl, and the girl's name is Neetu, and this lady is her instructor. Okay, actually she instructs Neetu that how to swim or how to wear that jacket. In the swimming instruction class, Neetu's instructor says, you don't need to be afraid of drowning because you are wearing a life jacket. Neetu also knows that she is not likely to be drowned. That means she is confident here. Now the third picture, the lesson being finished, the teacher asked the class, can any one of you come forward and tell us in short what we have read today? Most of the students raised their hands. What you have seen in the first picture of Rakib at the top, Neetu in the second picture, and what too? The students lack who do not raise their hands in the third picture. Just look at Neetu and Rakib had enough self-confidence, so they were not afraid at all. Just look here in this picture, Rakib is confidently giving his speech, and Neetu is also confident because she wears a life jacket, and for this reason she won't drown. Okay, so that's why she is also very confident. In the third picture, some of the students lacked self-confidence, so they did not raise their hands. They were getting frightened because they were not confident. Then what do we mean by self-confidence? Self means one's own. So does self-confidence mean confidence in oneself? Yes, it is exactly right. Self-confidence means confidence and reliance on one's own knowledge, ability to work or working skills. Those who are aware of their working ability and working skills and who have full confidence and belief in themselves are indeed self-confident. Okay, that means here we can find that what is self-confidence and who is called the self-confident. Let us hear a story. Once there was a man in a country. His name was Habu. He used to eat too much milk with barley. He thought himself as a great wrestler, though he had not enough strength in his body. So he thought one can fly if one has physical strength. So he announced in the whole city that he would fly around jumping from the hill. The foolish Habu did not think at all that one needs wings and also needs to learn how to fly. Okay, that means here we can see that he is overconfident. On the due date, he climbed up the hill as usual. Everybody forbade him several times, but he did not listen to them. Habu thought that all were jealous of him, as he would become famous, so they were forbidding him. Habu jumped off the hill, and then what happened next? He fell down and died. But Habu's belief is not self-confidence, rather it is overconfidence or wrong belief. Self-confidence means first to make oneself aware of one's own belief or self-reliance and then build that self-confidence. Okay students, so lesson 5 is about self-confidence, and everybody should have self-confidence, not the overconfidence. Okay students, stay safe, stay well, take care, Allah Hafiz.